Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Salesforce AI Champions. Today I'll be going to talk about decision matrix of OmniStudio. So before get started, please like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. So in OmniStudio, we can find the lookup tables, and lookup tables, there are two types of lookup tables available in the OmniStudio, or specifically in the business rules engine. So there are two types of lookup tables, like first one is decision matrix and the second one is decision table. And this part of the business rules engine, and we can find like different tools under the business rule engine. Like first one is this lookup tables, and the second one is the expression sets, in which we can do multiple complex calculations kind of stuff, so you can do. So how to find these lookup tables? First of all, so in the app launcher we can just search for the lookup tables, and we can find this lookup table interface, and by clicking on this new button we can just create new decision matrices. So decision matrices, and so this is decision matrix is like much same like the Excel sheet. So for example, if you want to find the price related to a specific product code, you create a lookup table where you provide the product code as an input, and based on that product code, that it's keep the list of that available the product information based on the product code provided. So instead of manually entering all the product details, we can just create these decision matrices so that it can save time, reduces risk of errors, because we don't have to calculate manually those kind of stuffs we can do. So for today's session, I'll be just creating a new decision matrix using by uploading a CSV file. So I have already a CSV file in which I have a data sets for cryptos. Like for example, for this date, how much was the price for the BTC and what was the volume. Then same for this Ethereum and BNB kind of data set I have. So for this data a date, we can find the specific uh, cryptos value, and that price on that day, or the trading volume on that day, we can find with this help of this data set. So I'll be uploading this data set as a CSV upload, and to create that decision matrix in OmniStudio. So I'll be just, and there are two types of lookup tables, as I mentioned, like decision matrix and decision table is available. So decision matrix is for like whenever a exact match based on lookup that returns a single input, means based on a specific single output. So based on a specific single input or multiple inputs, we can find only one list of products we can get like single output. But when we create decision table, so based on like we can add different filter logic, we can add custom logic, and based on that we can return one or more sets of output. So that's the basic difference between the decision matrix. So today I'll be just creating this decision matrix. So I'll be selecting this one and clicking on next, and I will just provide the name like crypto data sample uh, lookup table. And in the type, I'll be just selecting this standard one, and I'll be just clicking on save. And from the related, we can find this decision matrix version is created, and it's not active. So I'll be just clicking on this version, and we can see that different actions are available. Like we can just from the related, we can see what are the files attached, and from the matrix tab, we can see that this upload CSV option is there, or we can just add column. So we can just create manual columns like Excel like columns. Like for example, in here I have this many columns are there, like date, close, BTC, volume, BTC. So I can just create this date column header, and I can just provide like date as the input and other column headers as the output. But for today's demo, I'll be just using this CSV file that I already have to upload to create this decision matrix. So I'll be just selecting this one, and so the file name is showing here what is the selected file name, and there are restrictions like 50,000 rows we can just upload at a time, unless that is the limitations currently for the decision matrix to create. So I'll be just clicking on this next, and we can see that I have these many columns, headers are there, and all the headers are showing in here, right? And I'm just making like a date as a input. So based on what will be the our scenario, like based on a date, we need to find what was the volume or what was the price for that day for that crypto. So I'll be just selecting date as the input, and in the data type I don't have a date as a data type, so I'll be just keeping it text as a, since I don't have any date data type in here. So and for the remaining I'll be just making them output and just making them to currency data type. So making for all of them. So our mappings are ready. I'll be just click on the upload button, and I'll be clicking on done, and file upload request was queued. So file upload is currently in progress, and I can just find the related file. Let me just refresh this one, and I can just find the related list of related files in here from here and from the matrix. And there was some error for the records that is also showing as well. I'm just clicking on close, and we can see that already 1702 records were added into this table, into this decision matrix. And we can just select these many rows we want to show per page, this page, and navigate to a next pages as well by clicking on this page navigations. And we can see all our data kindly loaded into this decision matrix. And also we can just add new rows for this record. Like I just want to add a new row for this one, we can just do that. So this is how we can just create a simple decision matrix by using this CSV upload. And also we can find if there are any errors for any of the records within the decision matrix while creating. We can download that error CSV file as well. Let me just open this file, and let me just reformat it. And I can see that there are some error messages for like 126 records. There are some issues while uploading, like it's saying that this row has values that don't match with the column data types. So there are some data types issue, that's why this error happens for this many records. But our remaining those records were uploaded. And we can just make this decision matrix active, so that we can just invoke decision matrix from a expression set, or from the OmniScript, or from the flow. Those kind of scenarios we can test. And I have also already created a couple of tutorials on how to invoke like a decision matrix from Salesforce flows or from OmniScript. I'll be adding more tutorials as well on this regard. So I can just select the start date. So start date is crucial, so when so that we can find this is active. If we select a future date as a start date, and we are just selecting means trying to invoke the calculation this decision matrix today, that will not happen since the start date is in future. And we can also mention the end date as well if we want. And we also can make the rank. And I'll be just clicking on save. So one key important point is like there are some name updations after the Salesforce acquisition of the Velocity. So earlier this decision matrix name was calculation matrix, and expression set name was the calculation procedures. So those names were updated. So currently those names are like decision matrix, decision table, and expression sets. And also we can just find expression set, so that we can perform multi-step complex calculation with the help of this expression set, and we can just invoke our decision matrix from that expression set easily. So I'll be adding more tutorials on those regards, so please stay tuned. Please like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Salesforce AI Champions. Today I'll be going to talk about how to invoke decision matrix from integration procedure by using the matrix action. So before get started, please like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. So in the last session I have already discussed about how to create decision matrix, which is part of the business rules engine in OmniStudio, and I have created that decision matrix using that CSV file upload. For today's scenario, I have created another new decision matrix, which is about like IPL 2025, that statistics, player statistics. So there are some list of player records are there, and we can find based on the player name. So player name is a text input, and based on the player name we can find different outputs, like the player is part of the which team, what was the run overall, total runs for the IPL 2025, and number of matches the player played, number of innings average, then strike rate, what are the number of hundreds, 50s, all of the statistics will be shown. So based on a player name input, we can just find their statistics for IPL 2025. So I'll be invoking this decision matrix from the integration procedure. So I have created multiple tutorials on the integration procedure as well. Please check them out, so that will be very useful for you. And for today I'll be just creating a new integration procedure for invoking that decision matrix. So I'll be providing the name like IPL 2025 players stats IP, and just providing like IPL 2025 player stats IP. So I'll be just clicking save, and I can just select from the available list of actions, I can just select this matrix action. So for my org, this matrix action is showing like by naming with the name like matrix action, but some of the upgraded org, it's just showing like a decision matrix action. So check them accordingly. So instead of matrix action, there will be like decision matrix action. So the name got updated in the upgraded release. So in my org, it's matrix action. I'll be just and in here I can find this checkbox like use decision matrix. So I need to select this checkbox, and in the drop down I can just select the matrix name respectively. So my matrix name is IPL 2025, and now the thing is that what is the input for this matrix. So the for this lookup table the input is player name, so this same input needs to be provided as the matrix input parameters. So the data source should be player name. This needs to be exactly matched with the lookup table header input. So this is the player name, this will be the input for our decision matrix table, and based on the input we can just find our respective statistics. And for print our response, I'll be just using that response action. So I'll be just drag and drop that response action, and in the additional output response I'll be adding key value pair in the additional output. So I'll be providing the name like IPL 2025 players player data, and in the mark syntax I'll be just passing the matrix name. So matrix element name need to be passed within this additional output. And in the preview we can just preview by providing the player name. So player name needs to be in the key. If I just put the value like Virat Kohli, so based on this input, I should find the respective stats for Virat Kohli for the IPL 2025, and we can see all of the respective statistics. So this is how we can just simply invoke decision matrix from the integration procedure and using this matrix action. So that's all for this session. I'll be adding more tutorials on how just we can leverage this integration procedure as a action within the OmniScript, so that we can just in the UI we can just show the respective data so properly. So I'll be adding more tutorials on those regard, and I'll be adding more tutorials on Salesforce and OmniStudio topics. So please stay tuned. Please like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Salesforce AI Champions. Today I'll be going to talk about how to use this integration procedure as an action within the OmniScript, so that we can just display decision matrix data in the UI. So before get started, please like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. So in the couple of last sessions, I have discussed about how to create decision matrix in the OmniStudio by uploading a CSV file, and or we can just create manually a decision matrix. So I have created tutorials on that, so please check them out if you have not gone through them. And in those sessions I have discussed about how to create like one lookup table. So there are two type of lookup tables, like decision matrix and decision table, and I have created that decision matrix by uploading a CSV file. So for my use case, there is a statistics for players for IPL 2025, and in those records we can just based on a player name input, we can find different statistics of the player during for IPL 2025, like the overall run, the player part of the which team, and the matches, number of innings played, strike rates, those kind of statistics we can just get from this addition matrix. And I have created like one integration procedure, and in that integration procedure I have used this matrix action to invoke that decision matrix. And based on the player name, since player name is the input header, so based on the player name, uh, I'm just retrieving that data, like passing this player name as a key value, and in the value I can just passing the player name, like for Rohit Sharma I can just get the response. And if I just update with another player name like KL Rahul, we can just get the statistics of KL Rahul for 2025 IPL, and we can just find these statistics. And for today I'll be using this integration procedure in the OmniScripts to show the data in the UI level, right? So I have already activated this integration procedure, and I can just create a new OmniScript. Like I'll be providing the name like invoke lookup table from invoke IP from OmniScript, since I am calling that decision matrix from the OmniScript, and we can just directly invoke the decision matrix as well from the OmniScript. But for today I'll be just using that IP that invokes the decision matrix. So I'll be providing the name like invoke IP from OmniScripts. I'll be clicking on save. In the step I'll be providing the step name like IPL 2025, and the label IPL 2025, and I'll be selecting a text input since the player name is a text element. So from the inputs I can find this text, so I'll be just drag and drop this text. And this input header needs to be same, like this is the player name, so this needs to be same. and I'll be just updating this player name and label like player name. So this is a required, this player name needs to be there, and I'll be just adding this integration procedure. From the action we can find the integration procedure action, so I'll be using that like player statistics or player stats. So from the integration procedure I can just find this integration procedure like, so we can find by this type and subtype. So the integration procedure name will be type underscore star subtype, so I'll be searching with this type, and we can find this IPL 2025 underscore player stats IP. So this is our integration procedure name, and whenever we are adding a integration procedure as an action within a step, so that will be like in UI that will be visible like a button. So on clicking on this button, so that integration procedure will be invoked, and so this player name node will be passed automatically for the integration procedure, since this is a part of the OmniScript OmniJSON data. So and on clicking on this uh, player stats button, we can just find the player details, and let me just preview this one. So if I search for Rohit Sharma and on clicking on player stats, I am not getting any data. Why? So since this is within a step element, but in here I am just in the matrix action data source, I am just passing the player name, right? But our data structure means the JSON structure is what kind of like, I'm just showing the JSON request data for this integration procedure. And if I see the request data, so in the request data we can find that within this IPL 2025, so this is the step element name. So within this step element node we can find this player name, so the format will needs to be same. So I need to just update the node. I can just deactivate this one, or I can just create a new version, but as I'm now I am just deactivating this one. So this needs to be IPL 2025 colon player name, and the preview I can just update the JSON format like IPL 2025 then colon then player name, and so this needs to be in double quote. So this is the format, and if I just click on the execute, we can find the respective response, right? Let me just activate this updated integration procedure. So our integration procedure is reactivated. Now I need to see again, and let me just refresh this OmniScript, and if I just search for the player name Rohit Sharma, and on clicking on the IP, and it's getting invoked, and we can find in the array we are just getting the response, right? So this response needs to be shown in the UI level. So I can just use the multiple formulas to display those statistics data. So let me just update the UI. So let me just add a block element so that it will be nice to see. So let me just update player data block element name as player data, and in here we can just add multiple formulas. So our response pattern is what this from the integration procedure. Let me just open that one. So in the response we can find, one second. So response we can find, like under this node we can just find all the respective node, right? So this node needs to be there as a parent. So I can just update the OmniScript now. So formula in the expression, I can just within the merge syntax I can just add this one colon, then I want to show the team name. So team, I'm just updating the field label, and I can just clone this formula element multiple times to add more data. So in the second I can just show the number of innings the player has played. So innings, then run, and finally I can just show the strike rate or average. And let me just preview this one. And if I search with the player name Virat Kohli, and on clicking on the player stats we can find the respective details like team RCB, number of inning plays 15, total runs 657, average 54.75. And let me just check with another player details like Rajat Patidar, or I can just check with Abhishek Sharma, and we can see that respective results. So this is how we can just simply invoke this decision IP integration procedure within the OmniScripts, and this is how we can just leverage decision matrix, then integration procedure to invoke that matrix, and we can leverage that integration procedure within that OmniScript as an action to display the data in the UI level. So I'll be adding more tutorials on OmniScripts and on OmniStudio and Salesforce topics. So please stay tuned. Please like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.